Hi, I'm Kiara.
Hi, I'm Tanisha, and you're now entering the sister chat. Welcome to Main Event Mamas.
Y'all gonna have to excuse all this here today because it was photo shoot day, so that's why we got too much on. So
It's all right. She's the chocolate drop. Ow.
yeah, y'all can forgive me. It'll be lip gloss and hair ties next week, I'm sure. But anyway, oh my goodness, what a week of wrestling, right? As we gear up to the Night of Champions, like I'm psyched. But a lot of shit happened this week, right?
A lot.
I feel like I say that every week, but like for real, this week it started with a war. Like we didn't know what was gonna happen.
We still don't know what's going to happen. Just
She
know
not wrong.
I ain't been in. I ain't in it. I ain't in it. I don't know those people.
Okay, well,
I don't know those people.
This is an opportunity before we get into it because I'm gonna try to remember early this time instead of just hitting that subscribe thing that pops up every time. But I want to remind you that this is your opportunity to hit that bell so you can hang out with us and be the first to know when our videos drop. We just kind of want to let you know the cadence at the moment is usually around noon on Thursdays and Fridays. You'll catch an episode of Life Podcast, which is our adulting and our parenting episode, and then you'll on Friday around noon-ish, you'll catch our wrestling episode where we break down the week in wrestling. Typically WWE, but not always. Like, we might surprise you one time and do a whole AEW situation. We don't know yet, but we're not there yet. I just want to...
Or we may even start including a segment where we talk about indie wrestling. But, we are...
That's right.
You never know, but you have to subscribe to find out and watch the episode.
Right.
Don't just click and don't watch it. You got to watch it.
Yeah, I want to encourage you to hit that button so you figure out first what we got going on. All right, but we're going to start with our The Streets Are Talking segment.
The Streets Are Talking.
Because they are talking. Because it was a crazy week. And like I said, but we're not going to even start with the thing that I know y'all probably going to ask, the thing that I was going to start with. I'm going to start with Pat McAfee missing like all these weeks of Raw. You know what I'm saying? So, Tanisha, I was telling you about this, but apparently... Yes. I've been enjoying Corey's return to Raw. I feel like his dynamic with Michael Cole is top notch. I miss him. I watch him on NXT, but it's not usually as religious as my time that I spend with Raw. Like, it's not all at one time. But I've enjoyed listening to his commentary, his attitudes. It's different than Pat, but I've enjoyed the hell out of it. But the internet wrestling community had questions. They were like, I guess he quit. I guess he's not coming back. I don't know where they was taking it. I just assumed the man went home and took a break. That's what I assumed. But y'all out there, y'all crazy. I mean, it's okay for the man to take some time off. He does have how many jobs? So anyway, he cleared it up today and let them know like he's just taking a slight break from commentary so that he can rest because he has that 6-day-a-week show and an employee and a baby and all the things. So he's like, listen, get off my nuts. No, I'm just kidding. I think that's what he was saying, really. But I mean,
technically, get off his damn nuts. Like, y'all act like people can't take a break. And when y'all want a break, y'all are quick to call out. So, let's let's remind ourselves that people are human too. And they're not these superpowers. And on top of that, he wrestled Gunther and still came back to work. I think he is deserving of a break.
I needed a break. I needed a break here. I'm not going to even lie. I needed a break there. Yeah, so basically, all I'm saying is, if the man needed some time off, can we just not give him some time off? Like, let it be what it is. Like, I'm enjoying Corey. I feel like we're in a good spot, so let's move on. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what I really wanted to talk about is we were a little concerned about the location of Night of Champions. On Sunday, there's some things that happened in the world that we're not going to get too much into, but
now I just wanted to say
for
that
people.
I ain't been in it. I'm not in it, and I didn't do anything. It's not me. I actually don't think it was right. But yes, we are concerned because they are going over there and we don't know what's going to be the consequences. And they shouldn't be involved either because they didn't do it either.
Fair. But also, they're going to be there tomorrow. So remember that SmackDown's going to be early tomorrow because, you know, they're in Saudi Arabia. And then we're going to have an early Night of Champions too, which is great because, you know, I'm busy this weekend for once. So, yeah, I am just a little concerned a little bit. I said my prayers and I hope everybody's going to be okay. I don't love that they continued with it. I was a little concerned that they might move it to the Performance Center because most of us don't really love when they do that. But you know what? If it meant they were safer, I would have been fine with it. But maybe things have wrapped up and we don't have to worry. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're going to be fine and we're worrying for nothing. I recognize that where they are is not where the strikes hit. You know what I'm saying? I like the ex people who are like, y'all are dumb. No. Listen, it's still too close for me to put people in jeopardy. So fingers crossed, fingers and toes that everybody makes it home perfectly safe and sound and we're worrying for nothing. And then lastly, let's go ahead and talk about the fact that Dom is injured because they pushed the AJ and the Dom match on Raw and they talked to us about it. Adam Pearce was like, just want to let AJ know, cool your jets, my guy. Even though Dom was there, he's like, you know, he's not cleared to wrestle, so ain't gonna be no match this week. And I'm a little disappointed because I really was hoping that would be really happening. No, it actually is real. That's the thing. I know you're going to say, do you think it's not real? No, I do think it is real. It was reported today. I wish I could tell you where. I don't really remember that he has some kind of rib injury, but it won't require a substantial amount of time off. It's just like he can't do it right this moment. And
well, it's important. He needs. I mean, this is the one thing
right.
I applaud the ones that continue to wrestle when they're injured.
But
I also applaud the ones who actually acknowledge, I'm injured, I need to take a second.
Right.
To actually heal so I don't do further damage to myself.
I commend them 100% because I don't know. I don't think I would do it. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I know that we're all both hardworking. We're driven. We would try. But I also respect people who just take the time to heal because if you don't, then it often catches up with you, right?
Just like what's happening with Pat. It started to catch up with him and now he needs to take a break. And he's entitled to it. And I feel like everyone's entitled. I think because it's easy for us to watch.
Because we're at home.
But let's think about it. If we actually were in this profession for real and doing the type of things that they do when they train, right? When they train and then they go in and they rehearse or whatever, and then they give us to us. And when they give it to us, they don't give it to us at 75%. They normally give it to us 100%. So, you know, like we have to give them some grace and understanding.
100%.
Because we would want that for us, especially when we ready to call out from our employers. Because, you know, I'm just so tired. And you're like, and your employer's like, well, I don't care. You need to come to work. You're like, you don't want. Like, we have to, just like how we want people to have grace with us and feed into our bullshit, we need to have grace with them too.
And not feed into their bullshit.
Sorry.
That was a moment. All right, let's talk about SmackDown because it was a show. It was one of them things that again, it reminds me I'm going to miss this 3-hour show because I'm like, how could you cut this down? There were so many pieces that I loved. I don't even know where to start. So I'm just going to start somewhere in the middle of these notes, okay?
Okay.
I got, let's maybe start with the Ron Killings and the John Cena of it all. We're going to finish with some more John Cena, but let's just start with the Ron Killings and the John Cena of it all because that's fresh in my memory. But that match was great. I think it was great to see that side of Ron Killings again, where he's serious. Like he's not playing, ain't no games. He was a little vicious earlier. I mean, he went ahead and took out one of those members of Pretty Deadly that it wasn't even his fault. He didn't do nothing. He got pissed off Aleister Black because, I mean, nobody asked you to interrupt the man's match. I was excited. His interest was almost as much as we seen him today because my guy was stuck in the back face to face with Ron Killings, you know, before his match with John Cena. But I love to see the physicality, the chemistry that they still have together. And then that it was just so serious. Like, you could tell he was pissed, which is how you should feel, considering what happened to you.
I mean, yes. I mean, it's good to see him on this.
Yeah. So basically, all I'm saying is, if the man needed some time off, can we just not give him some time off? Like, let it be what it is. Like, I'm enjoying Corey. I feel like we're in a good spot. So let's move on. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what I really wanted to talk about is we were a little concerned about the location of Night of Champions. On Sunday, we there's some things that happened in the world that we're not going to get too much into, but
Now,
we were worried.
I just wanted to
We were
say
worried for our
that
people.
I ain't been in it. I'm not in it, and I didn't do anything. It's not me. I actually don't think it was right. But yes, we are concerned because they are going over there, and
That's
we
right.
don't know what's going to be the consequences, and they shouldn't be involved either because they didn't do it either.
Fair. But also, they're going to be there tomorrow. So remember that SmackDown's going to be early tomorrow because, you know, they're in Saudi Arabia. And then we're going to have an early Night of Champions too, which is great because, you know, I'm busy this weekend for once. So, yeah, I am just a little concerned a little bit. I said my prayers. And I hope everybody's going to be okay. I don't love that they continued with it. I was a little concerned that they might move it to the Performance Center because most of us don't really love when they do that. But you know what? If it meant they were safer, I would have been fine with it. But maybe things have wrapped up and we don't have to worry. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're going to be fine and we're worrying for nothing. I recognize that where they are is not where the strikes hit. You know what I'm saying? I like the ex people who are like, y'all are dumb. No. Listen, it's still too close for me to put people in jeopardy. So fingers crossed, fingers and toes that everybody makes it home perfectly safe and sound and we're worrying for nothing. And then lastly, let's go ahead and talk about the fact that Dom is injured because they pushed the AJ and the Dom match on Raw and they talked to us about it. Adam Pearce was like, just want to let AJ know, cool your jets, my guy. Even though Dom was there, he's like, you know, he's not cleared to wrestle, so ain't gonna be no match this week. And I'm a little disappointed because I really was hoping that would be really happening. No, it actually is real. That's the thing. I know you're going to say, do you think it's not real? No, I do think it is real. It was reported today. I wish I could tell you where. I don't really remember.
Okay.
That he has some kind of rib injury. But it won't require a substantial amount of time off. It's just like he can't do it right this moment. And
it's important. He needs. I mean, this is the one thing
right.
I applaud the ones that continue to wrestle when they're injured.
But
I also applaud the ones who actually acknowledge, I'm injured, I need to take a second.
Right.
To actually heal so I don't do further damage to myself.
100%. I commend them 100% because I don't know. I don't think I would do it. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I know that we're all both hardworking. We're driven. We would try. But I also respect people who just take the time to heal because if you don't, then it often catches up with you, right?
Just like what's happening with Pat. It started to catch up with him and now he needs to take a break. And he's entitled to it. And I feel like everyone's entitled. I think because it's easy for us to watch.
Because we're at home.
But let's think about it. If we actually were in this profession for real and doing the type of things that they do when they train,
physicality.
Right, when they train and then they go in and they rehearse or whatever, and then they give us to us, and when they give it to us, they don't give it to us at 75%. They only give it to us 100%. So, you know, like we have to give them some grace and understanding.
100%.
Because we will want that for us, especially when we ready to call out from our employers because, you know, I'm just so tired. And you're like, and your employer's like, well, I don't care. You need to come to work. You're like, you don't want. Like, we have to, just like how we want people to have grace with us and feed into our bullshit, we need to have grace with them too.
And not
That's
feed
my
into their
soapbox.
bullshit.
Sorry.
That was a moment. All right, let's talk about SmackDown because it was a show. It was one of them things that I mean, again, it reminds me I'm going to miss this 3-hour show because I'm like, how could you cut this down? There were so many pieces that I loved. I don't even know where to start. So I'm just going to start somewhere in the middle of these notes, okay?
Okay.
Because,
okay.
I got, let's maybe start with the Ron Killings and the John Cena of it all. We're going to finish with some more John Cena, but let's just start with the Ron Killings and the John Cena of it all because that's fresh in my memory. But that match was great. I think it was great to see that side of Ron Killings again, where he's serious. Like he's not playing, ain't no games. He was a little vicious earlier. I mean, he went ahead and took out one of those members of Pretty Deadly that it wasn't even his fault. He didn't do nothing. He got pissed off Aleister Black because, I mean, nobody asked you to interrupt the man's match. I was excited. His interest is almost as much as we see him today because my guy was stuck in the back face to face with Ron Killings, before his match with John Cena. But I love to see the physicality, the chemistry that they still have together. And then that it was just so serious. Like you could tell he was pissed, which is how you should feel considering what happened to you.
I mean, yes. I mean, it's good to see him on this.
So yeah. So ultimately, I feel like you said, like it was just intense, right? Like John Cena and Ron was intense, especially like I said, when he went after the Pretty Deadly guy. Like that was, what did my guy do? He just existed.
He did, but what I do like about what was being shown was that yes, we're seeing Ron, we're not seeing R-Truth, but when other people, like, so when he was beating the dude up, then the back staff came up. Granted, Aleister was hilarious because he was just standing there like, what's happening? Why is he in there? What just happened? Like, what is going on? And he just stood there looking like, should I go in there? Do I stand here? I was coming to fight. He did. And then they just like run past him. He's still looking at him like, so am I going in? Like, what's going on? And so then it was good to watch how you see he's like, yeah, I'm angry. Ugh. And then they start talking to him. And then all of a sudden we see R-Truth.
Yeah, it's like underneath.
He's like, okay, all right, my bad. Y'all know I'm not like this. My bad. Right. All right, I got you. And leaves, but you can still see he's like, I'm angry.
He was mad.
And then the backstage. Now listen, I ain't gonna lie. That stare off, I was like, oh, this is like a boxing. Like y'all about to box right now. Like if we were doing a match and we were doing UFC or a boxing match and we were in Vegas, this is a good, like, because they was just like, and Ron was like, I ain't backing down. I ain't scared. You got the right one today. I ain't scared. Like, it's nothing personal. It's business. So move it along. Like, it's,
But Damian Priest really made that moment.
He did, because when he came in like this,
it was the closed eyes for me. I was like, why are your eyes closed? Like, what's happening? What's going on?
But it was also good to see Damian like coming, because it was like, even that dynamic when R-Truth thought he was Ron, but when they thought he was well, at the time he was R-Truth. So when he thought he was a part of Judgment Day.
Yes.
And then to see Damian, like, you ain't a part of, like, what are you doing? And then to watch him come in the middle, like, I got this. Let me talk to him. And then Aleister just looked at him like, fine, Damian. Sure, Ron. And when he was like, black, I was like,
yes.
I was like, wait. You couldn't call him Aleister? You just had to be like, black. And then, but then still, like I said, having someone else talk to him, it kind of like, it seemed like people are able to get the R-Truth out of him. And where it's like, okay, you know what? You're right. I was tripping. My bad. That's not me. Okay, I got you. But that match between him and John Cena was amazing.
It was.
Like, it was good to actually see him going back to, well, not even going back, well, us seeing his display of showing that he is actually talented and he's not just the person that makes people laugh and smile and all this stuff. That he's like, I wrestle, like I do this, like even to like watch him still come out to the same music, but he's not doing, hey, what's up? And meanwhile, I'm watching like, what's up? And I'm like, he's not singing nothing. Like, why are you singing? Like, what are you doing?
Hard. It's a hard habit to
it's
break.
a hard habit to break,
yeah.
But it was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess too, it was just good to watch him just like whatever, even if this is for a short period of time that they had him back or however the case is, they're actually doing something with it, yes, which is good. So kudos to the people who are actually writing this in and letting him be this Jekyll and Hyde of himself.
Yes. And I agree with you. I think that storyline is great. I do want to touch on the end of this whole John Cena CM Punk showdown that happened shortly after him putting CM Punk through that daggone table. That was also a really kind of cool moment because I feel like Cena's like heel turn has been a bit of a, this is where I say it again, kerfluffle. It hasn't quite gone according to plan. I don't think we know what to do, like, as an audience. And I say that as we, but, I don't really care for John Cena, the character. But he's supposed to be this bad guy now. But the fans don't know what to do. Like, a lot of them don't want to cheer him. I mean, boo him, and a lot of them still cheer him. So there's this kind of confusion amongst the community. And it could just be that they're enjoying having him back and they know that this is his last time. Right. So it's a bit of a mismatch. I know that was the goal, was to make him like super hated. Also, I'd love for him to explain about this ruined wrestling thing. Is it just him taking the belt home?
I mean, I don't know. Like because you didn't watch during this era. And of course, I feel like I've seen bits and pieces, but literally what that segment was him pretty much being CM Punk was so angry and he was leaving, and CM Punk, I believe, left with the belt as well.
He did.
So it was there. However, I did kind of stop watching. I think I started fast forwarding because it was just like, you're talking too much.
But they said it was like,
and it was also weird watching CM Punk still be like,
that is what I was about to say. I was distracted.
But then you can see him kind of move, but he's like, and it was like, are you gonna get up? Because we know.
I was like, can he at least roll over?
And it was just like, let me just stay like this, like I'm a contortionist, like
contortionist.
Yes, and I was just like,
it was weird and distracting to see him. And then he opened his eye.
Yes, he kept going like, are you done? No, okay. It was just like, sir, you're taking away from the moment. I get it. But then also, too, this is where, for me, it was like, that segment was also way too long.
It was really long.
It was like, okay. That's why I said I had to start fast forward, because I'm like, now you're just talking. You're just talking to be talking. And I get it. You're trying to pretty much give us CM Punk what CM Punk did, and CM Punk being there and just like, I'm just going to talk to you guys for hours. Well, yeah, you talked to us for hours and you closed us out, and CM Punk was still like...
Fair. All right, that's fair. All right, so let's move on. We're going to go backwards a little bit in time. In no particular order. I thought Randy Orton and Sami Zayn's match was awesome.
It was. I believe even the segue up to it was awesome too. Pretty much saying, yes, I got it. You got your story. Hey, you got your story. Sami, you're going to get your story.
It ain't today.
But it ain't today. I'm gunning for it. I'm coming full steam. But it was also good to watch the mutual respect between everyone involved. Because I feel like having that mutual respect makes your match even better. Because your goal is not to severely hurt them, but you're going to give your A game, right? You're going to still...
That's right.
You're still going to give it 110%, and you're not going to shy away just because we have people on the outside. Like, I'm going to give you, like, watching that match back to back, to watch Sammy getting excited and he's about to do a Luma kick, and watching Randy Orton RKO him, doing all this different, like, that was a good match. To me, that should have ended the show. I don't, not the talking forever in 3
Not
years.
this talking thing.
But
I kind of get it.
you know what I'm saying?
Get
But that match was really good. And yes, I know for Sammy that sucked that he lost.
Right.
However, you know, I can't say too many bad words about it. It was just a really good match, and how they segged it up to it was a really good match. Everything was
it was
great
well
about
matched too. Like, despite I know Randy having been in the business a really, really, really long time, it just felt solid. Like, it was enjoyable as hell. Coincidentally, I felt the same way about Asuka and Alexa Bliss. Like, I enjoyed the hell out of that match, and I love that there was no interruption and there was no one coming to mess it up. It was just watching two competitors go at it at their best too, because remember, we haven't seen Asuka in a while. Alexa's been out back, but it was great to see them all again, playing all the hits, doing all the things, and really just being hella enjoyable. I thought it was crazy. I had realized that Alexa hadn't had her a championship since 2018, which I was like, oh wow, I didn't
But that
know
makes sense, because she also got married, she had a baby, she left, she came back, she I think she came back right when Bray Wyatt had came back, and then unfortunately because of his passing, she disappeared as well. I know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that, but you know.
No, it's not that. The dog is looking
I know. I hear you, Apollo. So
sorry.
Hey, it's a part of life. It's what we do. He probably wants to go outside. Anyway, but
It's probably,
yeah, because I'm like, that's the tippy top of toes of, but I need to go outside. Someone feed me. It's like me outside. Anyway,
he better go find a child. Anyway, we have two. Pick one. Anyone.
he's like, but mommy, I need you. But no, and I also liked it with that match that you didn't know actually who was gonna win. You didn't. It could have been Alexa Bliss. It could have been Asuka. It could have been either one. So I think that was amazing to watch. That and of course I also like the storyline that's going. I know I'm tapping into it, but I love the storyline that they're doing with Alexa and Charlotte. That's a good one.
It is a really great one, and we can kind of skip a little bit more to the Charlotte Flair and Chelsea Green match of it all, because that was also another really cool match to see. I love Chelsea. I love her energy. I love her antics. I feel like she is so great, and her service that's just a lot. I'm like, you're not champion anymore. Why do you still have a service? But cool. Anytime we get to see Piper and Alba, I'm down. But
well, I mean, technically, you know, past presidents still have Secret Service, so I get it. I understand.
Okay, well, thank you for that clarity, because that is true. They do continue to have their detail, but about that senton that scared the crap out of me on Charlotte, I was like, girl, please, Piper, don't hurt her. We just got her back. Please don't do it.
This is where, unfortunately, I'm gonna get on my soapbox.
Uh-oh.
Because there was no need to do that while she was still in the bridge, because Chelsea already tapped out. So you could have let her get down. I'm not gonna say it was on purpose, but it didn't seem like you missed your mark. Like you maybe was supposed to come sooner and not get her to tap out, or maybe you came just a little too early and you just went in for it. But in essence, I watched how Charlotte buckled, and her brace already wasn't on securely anyway. It was still kind of like, and she kept touching and trying to like fix it. Right. And then here you go, hitting her while she is in a bridge, no less. So she's in full bridge mode with all your weight, and watching her buckle, it was like,
it was scary.
Like, why? What was that? And then you proceed, and then you can tell, and I'm hoping it really wasn't a work, but you can tell, like, oh no, I like, and it's like Charlotte needed to get her confidence back into wrestling and understanding that she's not going to hurt herself just by doing her moves. And here you are, while she's doing one of her iconic moves, the figure eight. Now you want to sit here and do a move where it makes her push herself down and she's still in that bridge? That was careless. And I feel like, you definitely missed your mark, and you should have left it where it was at. You should have never even did it, because it doesn't make sense. It was after the fact. And then, of course, like I said, that just bothered me as watching as a female, and watching just wrestling in general, and just knowing that hopefully that she's okay. But if we don't see her for a little bit, or not see her wrestle for a little bit, it's because you probably re-injured her a little bit. Maybe she didn't tear nothing, but I feel like if you've never had surgery, right? If you never had surgery or had a real true injury, you don't get it until something like that happens to you, to understand, oh, that move was not cool. I guess with me having different type of surgeries, and all I gotta do is like flex it the wrong way, now I'm like, ooh, like having a teared muscle or tendon is a lot more recovery than just having a broken bone.
Yeah, a lot of PT and stuff.
You understand what I'm saying? And she tore something and had it surgically repaired.
But she tore quite a few things. It was pretty...
but she had, it's just like the soreness, all that stuff. Like, I just think that was real careless. I think that wasn't the right thing to do. I do appreciate that Alexa Bliss did come out to help. Now, granted, I don't think Charlotte should have walked away, but I get it. That's probably the role that you're playing. But also, too, you're probably upset, too, like, damn. Like, I gotta act like real stoic and act like I'm not in pain and walk out of here. But we watched her as she was like, I'm limp a little bit, but not limp that much. Like, I don't know. That was just, I just didn't like it. That left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, it was definitely scary. I didn't love that. All right, so like you said, it wasn't cool, and I didn't appreciate it. So let's talk Solo and Jacob, because this was a whole new development this week, and he was expecting to get his "I love you" Solo back, and obviously that was a done deal.
He said,
and
"Fuck you."
He said he had some choice words that were not "I love you."
We're not. Fuck you.
It was definitely not "I love you." That was just definitely missing. And then the shenanigans, ensued with JC Mateo, and then eventually Jimmy coming out, which I was like, what you got to do with this, Jimmy?
But I told you, don't be surprised. Jimmy and Jacob is going to team up for something to go against Solo and JC. And it's just for the simple fact of Solo is on this, he think he Roman, and he ain't. Kick still. And it's like, sir, there is no bloodline. You are not bloodline 0.20. You're not the new bloodline. There ain't nothing. The bloodline is dead. Okay? And all your members are gone. And you are still now on this Solo. And, Solo is going to get respect one way or the other. And when what did he do? He kicked him. He punched him. I forgot what he did, but it was one of those. Doop, I went, oh well,
It was not. It was definitely not "I love you."
Yeah, you definitely deserve that, because you keep egging him on like an annoying brother.
Yes.
And sometimes you just gotta get popped in your face.
Which he kind of is, apparently.
Pop in your face.
In terms of like being. Sorry.
No worries.
Ooh, excuse me.
No worries.
In terms of being Jimmy and Jay's younger brother, that's what he reminded me of. When I was like, that's when the younger siblings act up, and you're like,
when they be
still
like,
mad at you.
You need to see me. I need you. You want to love me, and it's like, no, because you acting like a complete jerk, and you think you did something, and you didn't. Facts. All you did was bring me here, cool beans, but you didn't make me who I am.
That's right.
And that's where I think Solo's a little delusional. He's been sipping on that delusional Kool-Aid just a little too long. And we need him to come back to reality. So I can't wait for Solo to bring him back to reality on the Night of Champions.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I am looking forward to that one because I'm like, all right, because enough is enough. Enough is enough. But okay, and then we got Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax for this.
I'm so tired of Tiffany.
These are the other shenanigans that had me afoot that day because, I mean, Tiffany and Nia are still fighting ages later, and now we're gonna have a last man standing match this week. But poor Naomi keeps getting mushed. Like, this ain't your moment, sis, which I think her moment is clearly coming because why are we? I mean, I understand the story, so I don't want to say it like that. I definitely understand the story between Tiffany and Nia. But she beat her already. And I know it was a cash-in, so that makes it slightly different. But she's beat her. I mean, like, I feel like this has gone on forever, and I'm just ready to move on. I feel like this is like trying to define her championship, and I don't think that that's a good use of her. Like, there are other women in the division who I think Tiffany could have had like a more substantial feud with. I would like to see her move on, though my guess is that Naomi will be champion next week. I mean, so we don't have to say that. But last man standing match, I don't even know if we get a definitive winner. Don't even know if we get one next week. I don't foresee that happening. But Naomi and these cash-ins, I hope it doesn't go as far as they did with Austin Theory, where it was ridiculous. And the same thing with like Damian Priest. Like, how many times you gotta try? I would really like you to try and get it done or try and not get it done. I don't think you need to keep having these me, and then something happens and you're like, pause. And then Naomi had to like slink away like because of Nia. Like, no. Why should she be listening to Nia? I would just hit her with a chair and move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to keep talking to you? I just think this is a little clunky right now, and I'm hoping like it gets smoother.
Clunky?
It is. I'm like, what are you? I'm gonna run out. This is her second time trying to cash in, but nah, this ain't your moment. Go away. Like, what? Like, no, it's clunky. It's not as smooth as I would like.
I feel like the reason why Nia is getting away with it, or Naomi's letting her get away with it, is because she's family. But I do know the time is coming where she's going to look past being family and be like, yo, you not gonna keep blocking me every time I try to cash in. Like, this is enough's enough. So I definitely see where she's going to probably snap on her. However, I just don't think she's going to go for Money
in the Bank?
I don't think she's going to truly cash it in on the last woman standing match. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think it's time for her to cash it in yet. And it's not that I want her to hold on to it. I like the suspense of like, I may go against you. I already told you I'm going against you. But what if she decides she wants to cash in on the Night of Champions?
That's fair.
Wait, is someone who... No. There's only 2 champion matches. Is there a woman champion match happening?
No. Not a Night of Championship. That's why it's on SmackDown.
Or maybe she wants to wait till SummerSlam on a bigger stage against... And maybe not
and I
actually
don't
go
think
against...
Io has a match either at Night of Champions either.
That's why I was like, I thought... Check. I do know... I watched but that was on, I think that was on Raw.
Yes. Io doesn't she doesn't tend to defend the title much. Don't get me on a soapbox about that. So.
Okay, we won't.
They don't use her either, which is equally crazy.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like she's saying she's going after Tiffany, but Naomi may decide to switch up and go after somebody else.
I mean, she could go after Io. She can go after Becky. I mean, she has options. She can go after Zelina. I wouldn't. I would cash that in for the big title, but And I think for me, if it was me, that last man standing match is the moment because they should be tiring each other out to the point where they can't get up. Like, that's the point of that match. So it feels like a good opportunity for Naomi to cash in.
Or it could be like when Dolph Ziggler was there and he won Money in the Bank and he thought he could win and he lost.
Yes, I didn't say it was going to be 100% effective, but it's been no. Doesn't the women's statistic like 100% of them have cashed in with success? I feel like I was watching. I love those statistics during Money in the Bank, so I feel like I was watching them, and I think it said 100% of them.
Right, but
they have a better percentage than the men. Just saying. So noted. All right, so. And then the last thing we need to talk about, it's late, you know how it is. The last thing we need to talk about, it is contagious. Oh my God. Stop doing it. It's contagious.
I'm trying not to. You know what happens? I got so passionate. I got in my soapbox. My body said, all right, so we need to let this out.
I see. So LA Knight and Bronson Reed, the only thing I wrote was, this was brutal. This ish was brutal. That match, I wanted to give LA Knight a hug, ice pack, an ice bath. I was like, what can we do to make you comfortable, my guy? Because Bronson Reed was like, I mean, it's probably Seth's fault, but still.
It is definitely Seth's fault, and I don't like it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how much I like Seth, so I don't really mind that. And that's a good segue to Raw, because we're going to do that in just a minute. But because Seth started Raw.
Yes, I know.
But I mean, I enjoy this little mastermind thing. And it reminds me of the Monday Night Messiah, the way it could have been. Like, it didn't quite resonate the way this does. And I think with Paul Heyman, maybe that's why it's a little bit more interesting. I've heard the streets talking about people wanting to join this faction and seeing like who else would fit in.
They don't even have a name for it yet. I mean, they keep saying that they're going to come up with one, and they do that. I'm like, okay, y'all could just take the names that we said. Seth with company.
Any of them?
Paul and company. Seth and friends and company.
Seth and the Visionaries.
Yeah, Seth and the Visionaries, or the Seth of Mass Destruction. I don't know. But y'all need to come up with a name soon. And y'all definitely, and then y'all need to definitely stop calling Paul the fucking wise man, okay? Because he's not the wise man no more.
He said he was a wise man. He said it on Monday.
I know, but
I am the wise man to Seth Rollins.
He's not the wise man. Because then once again, this is, you know what this should be? The imitating bloodline. The bloodline.
The imitating bloodline?
The bloodline of imitation. Ooh.
No, she didn't. Jesus help.
That was good. I need to put that in. Copyright. Ooh. That's what it should be, because why is Paul still the wise man?
I don't know. I told you it didn't make sense to me either. That's what he calls himself. I don't get it.
And you maybe he got a dog and he go, Nick, bro, cut it out.
Yes.
Well, at least he wasn't as orange this time. So I think, they kind of toned themselves down.
Shout out to Kevin Owens for going on Cody Rhodes' podcast this week and talking about how that tan is too orange. I thought about you when I read that, and I was like, I need to listen to that particular podcast because, first of all, I love Kevin Owens, and he had a lot to talk about everyone. But that was funny. And he was like, it should not be so orange that it looks like it can rub off. And I was like, ooh. Also true.
See, what I want to say, right? But you're not going to put it in here because you're going to edit it out.
No. All right, so let's move on to Raw because, I felt like Seth opening a show was pretty good. Don't do it. But he had a good point to me that the audience doesn't know what they want. They want to sing his song. They want the OTC back. They want CM Punk. They want everybody and their mama. They want to woof, woof, woof with Braun. Like, what are we doing, audience members? We need to pick a lane. Kiara has her lane up until anyone else of note comes to the story. But, I like stuff. I enjoy the woof, woof and all that, too. That's enjoyable. But y'all can't be asking for everything and their mama. It's very confusing. And he's supposed to be... I feel like we're in the phase of heels being people we like better than other people. It's confusion. This is Roman's fault because he was just so freaking cool that there was no way
that's what
around
I'm saying. The imitation.
We just need him to come back.
Imitating, and everybody don't like you couldn't hate Roman as much as you want to and get boomed, but he was a champion for almost 3 years for a reason.
Yeah, he was.
And now
And we was all buying them merch.
And now
we was all buying
everybody's
it.
trying to like, why? You know, no.
Yes.
No. But yes, I do agree. The audience needs to figure their lives out, because you can't be like, we're singing your song, and now we're like, fuck you. You're like, well, why are you singing my song then? If I suck, why you sing my song? It's the same thing what you were saying with John Cena. We don't know. We should be confused. Like, are you a heel? You're not a heel. You're trying to be one, but I like you so much. Oh no, you're about to leave. Should we boo you really? But you suck.
Apparently.
I don't know. Like,
the audience needs therapy. We need some clarity though. I also think there's a sense of storytelling that needs to make up for this though, right? Like Seth has to do something so irredeemable that we just cannot sing his song. Or give him a new song temporarily until we get the Seth. That's another thing. If you're going to be a heel and you're going against what you used to do, maybe you should change your music. I understand audience recognition, but you can get a new remix. Maybe, you know, Seth gets a song that starts out Burn It Down and we don't go into the OOs. Maybe we go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they have options available. Maybe John Cena do. Maybe he need a remix. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to, you need to distinguish between these two characters, because people can't seem to do it. We can't. We're all like, boo, yay, boo, yay. I was like, we're going to be confused.
and they're just like, we just want Roman. And you're like, he doesn't hear you. He ain't coming.
At least not yet. I don't think he's coming
Roman,
yet.
come back.
But yeah.
Come back. I miss you.
Okay. All right. She's going to breathe. And we're going to talk about Bayley and Becky's Masterclass, because
Not
that
the Masterclass.
It was incredible.
It was.
You could see just how talented they both were going against each other. They were super familiar with each other. It was so good. Like, I will tell you, I was like geared into that, because, you know, I do 14 things at a time. But no, I was watching that match and I was like, I need to watch it again, because I was psyched to see, you know how I feel about Bayley, but also just to see how good they are together.
Yeah.
Again, we don't get to see that all the time. So to me, that's really special and unique. But WTF, Lyra, stop ruining the fun. Okay? Why are we gearing up for another triple threat? Like, Lyra, girl, is there no one else for my girl to feud with?
Well, I understand why she's still feuding with her. However, she fed into Becky's plan.
Of course she did.
Becky knew what she was doing. Listen, when she sat here and put Bayley and started coming, I was like, nah, now you about to win because she counted out. I said, that is some bull to the ish and some cowardness, because...
You mean with the chairs? Yes, and stuff? It reminded me of Roman and Brock
when they
in
were
that
saying,
situation.
Like, put more stuff on them. And you're like, okay, how much stuff you want? Put it all on there. And then stand on them. Stand on them? Like, that's... But... Crazy I got work. Why, like, Lyra came.
It's fine.
To, like, take her, like, no, go back in the ring. But it was like, girl, you took the bait. You took the bait. At first, you weren't taking the bait. But you took the bait. And Bayley had a point.
Forget the bait. Yes. Nobody asked you to come out here.
But I also understand why Bayley was like, but what are you doing? This is not what we talked about.
You're not supposed to be here.
This is not what we talked about. And then second, like, you just cost me the match because you couldn't control your emotions. You could at least let me win, because I was about to win. I literally was about to win. You could have let me win, and then you could have came in here and beat her up.
Facts. But the truth is, Lyra wants her championship back.
She does.
So
now,
so she doesn't really care.
Now is she jealous?
A little bit.
Bayley?
A little bit. I think she's jealous. I think she's feeling a little forgotten because Becky's like, whatevs, on to the next. So I feel like maybe, and we're gearing up clearly for a triple threat. Maybe at Evolution. Maybe that's what's coming. Because I'm like, seriously, come on. Like, no one asked Lyra, and I was so excited for Becky to get that title. I mean, Bayley to get that title. There's too many B's happening today. I was psyched. All right. Then we're going to talk about a little less enthused about was Goldberg and Gunther's interviews also happened on Raw. I would say Gunther had my favorite. Not going to lie. Because you know how I feel. I don't really care that deeply about Goldberg coming back for the 14th time.
I mean, I get it, and I get it. Once I rewatched it, I understood why he's coming back. Now, granted, I understand why you may feel the way you feel. But I also, I guess, from a parent standpoint, and the fact that I was injured, so I couldn't really fight you, and now that I'm better, oh, you gonna get these smoke. You gonna get the smoke, and you gonna get the smoke right now. Because we gonna finish this. Because we couldn't finish it before, because I didn't want to get myself extra injured. So, But no, now is the time for me to get here. Now, do I think Goldberg's gonna win? Only if
we can get into that later.
Oh, okay. But I think I understand where he's coming from. Now, yes, Gunther was talking about he gonna, hurting everybody, and I do believe he gonna hurt everybody because we've watched him, and I'm still upset that he sat here and took my Jay out, and Jay didn't tap out. I would have Jay was like, you ain't getting this tap out. I ain't tapping out. But it was like, I get it. But I also get
it's not that I don't get it.
I get it, but I also get what you're saying, but I get it. But I also like Goldberg. So, it's
not okay. Listen, I'm going to repeat this for the people out there who think I hate Goldberg. I do not hate Goldberg.
Girl, you just
I just don't want to. No, I don't understand why we're keep having these goodbyes. That's what bugs me. I said goodbye already. I was ready to move on with my life. And also, I'm sorry, maybe the Bret Hart of it all is getting to me.
Okay.
But
what?
Once you go back and you look at Goldberg's matches and you look at this thing again, he didn't wrestle. He just hurt people. And I don't mean that in like a technical thing. Like when you watch him,
Goldberg hurt Bret. I remember. Yes. Okay.
I was like, did he learn to wrestle? Is he going to be actually wrestling? I just don't want him to hurt Gunther.
So you want Gunther to hurt him?
I mean, that's unavoidable at this point because he hurt himself in the last match. And he hurt himself training. So, I mean, I can't control that. So don't give me that. I just want to say that. I don't hate Gunther. I don't hate Goldberg. I just don't feel like this match is worth all the hype or needed a championship. Jay could have kept the title. I'm like, instead we got Jay and the King of the Ring to lose? That's the other piece.
Well,
now let's just move on.
Okay. Because I definitely called it once something about it. Once I saw the beginning of the match, I was like, Cody's gonna win, and it's gonna be Cody against Randy, and it can go either way.
I mean, I knew Cody was gonna win.
Yeah, but I knew Cody because it was just like Cody now feels like he needs to have his redemption and get his championship back. So that's his story. My story is I need to get my championship back.
Yeah.
From the person who's trying to ruin wrestling, and I'm the savior of wrestling, right? But are we fast forwarding to that match? Because that match was amazing.
Yes.
That match was amazing. Between Jay and Cody, they left it all incredible. They left it all on the floor. Everything was on the floor. That was amazing. Even when Cody turned and when Cody was like, "I'm sorry, Jay," and then went to go give him the
cutter.
No, not the color.
Crossroads.
Thank you. And then Jay switched up and did it to him. I said, "Ooh."
That was awesome. Snap. I was like, and not Jay with the crossroads.
And he hit it perfect too. It was like, I was like, whoa. Yes. And then just watching the build-up and just watching, and yes, I knew Cody was gonna win, but at the same time, sometimes you also didn't know. Like, it could have went a different way because Jay was bringing it to him. He wasn't like, just because you're my friend. No, right. This was a mutual respect, and that's once again like how with Cody, with Randy and Sammy. Yes, they had a mutual respect for each other, but that didn't stop them from going head to head and giving it the best match and caliber that it was supposed to be.
It was great.
It was amazing, amazing, amazing. And I do like the fact that at the end of the match, Cody was real fired up, like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it. And to watch him sit here and whisper words to Jay, and I'm pretty sure he probably said, "I'm proud of you. I love you."
I mean, this was great. It was great.
But that was a really good, wholesome moment. But that match itself was just that. If I had to rate it, it was a 10 out. It was 100
Yeah,
out of
I
10.
wrote tore the damn house down.
Absolutely.
I was like, I haven't finished Raw like that in a long time to just feel so excited and so amazed. And it just really shows you the kind of caliber of entertainers both of them are. Like, I love Cody. I love him. Regardless of whether I think he should have a championship right now or not, my love for Cody is beyond. And I have that same kind of love for Jay. So to see both of them face off was a little bit of a conflict, just within me. But you're right. That was a 10 out of 10. Like, that was such a great match, so much fun to watch, and it was the best way to end, I think, that evening, because I just couldn't. And then watching, like, the goodbyes to the crowd and all that was great. That was great. Now, couple things before we get into our speed round, because we getting up there.
Okay.
Jade and Roxanne. Now, Jade was good. She was really good. I thought she looked fantastic against Roxanne. The match was very slow, though. I get that Roxanne was running away, but it was a little slow. And that was I was like, girl, stop running. Like, let's get this match going, and so we can move on. It just felt, again, one of those things that didn't feel like it quite flowed the way it needed to get into it the way I needed to. Like, it took me a long time to get into it, and then it was just done for the most part. Jade, stop licking people. Okay. Stop licking people, baby.
Yeah, when she went, she was like, this. And she was like, her whole tongue went out, yeah. And I was like, ew, you licked her makeup off. That's nasty.
just like, don't lick her no more. Again, still fun watching Roxanne, wondering, like, what kind of stuff she's going to mix up in. And it's a good segue to talk about her and Raquel, because Liv's going to be mad again.
Well, I mean, she's gone for 6 months, unfortunately. But, and they still did not take the titles off, which kind of pisses me off. But, yeah, I guess
they're setting them up, though. I think they are
setting them
Roxanne up to be Raquel's partner.
I see that, but
it's weird because sometimes they make people relinquish and sometimes they don't.
I just feel like this wasn't the time. Like, if you're not going to do anything with the titles, you should just let them go and let them be vacant until you figured it out, instead of having them on somebody. Because then you having them on them is doing what, though? It's the same thing of having it vacant.
Well, Evolution's coming. You have to keep that in mind. Yeah. Like, Evolution's coming up, so I don't think that they're just going to let it sit there. Now, this would have been a great opportunity to pair up some tag teams and see, like, make some. Invite maybe the Iconics to come back. Aren't they in TNA? I mean, like,
when I thought we was going to touch on that, but when I saw them come back, now, granted, I'm not happy that they are whatever the names are. It's still,
it's I don't know. I'll tell you in a minute.
It's something. And I was just
I'll look it up in a second.
I said, really, guys? Y'all couldn't, like, try to buy y'all name and just be iconic? No? Or y'all couldn't be like, because I don't even know how y'all going to be like, we. And then they even
inspiration.
Did the yes.
Oh, come on. It's a problem? The inspiration's a problem? It's not as catchy as the Iconics.
No.
But it's.
And then the fact that y'all still did the same thing at the end, and I was like, okay, so that's iconic. That's not.
Get it
but
together.
The fact that they're on TNA, that does give me hope that they will go into NXT and, like, tear it up with somebody, because that would be fun. Because then
I would like them on the main roster. Let's just bypass NXT and have them come hang out with us.
But we need more. Once again, we need more female tag team.
Yeah, we don't really have
and we don't have it. So I like the fact that technically on NXT we do kind of have that a little bit more than
No, we don't really have. So there are a couple more that are just natural, like, faction type teams. Like, of course, you have the, like, fatal Influence.
I was going to say Attraction, but I was like, that's not their name anymore.
I was going to say that's wrong. It's definitely Fatal Influence. We have them as sometimesy a tag team. But you're right, there's not a ton. And then they got rid of Jakara, so Lash is on her own doing other things. So you're right, there just isn't a ton of, like, and then they got rid of the only tag team that we had here in main rosterville. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. So fair. But I would have liked to see them vacate the titles and to create this division that is just missing. Just a good opportunity to be like, hey, this. You know who we talked about briefly but didn't get into was Meechem and BFAB as a potential tag team.
Yes.
I think that would be fun to see them together.
Absolutely.
I feel like there are opportunities, but we just don't see them to fruition. It'll be like an idea that never gets seen again. So I am hoping that they actually team up because I'd love to see them together. I think they have a really nice, like, it seems like camaraderie with each other. Again, opportunity to maybe vacate this and then like actually have a tournament where you establish some real tag teams because we don't have any, which is why you don't see any like real defenses because we don't have any tag teams.
And just like Asuka let us know, Damage Control is no more.
Nope, that's gone.
She was like, this is not Damage Control. Damage Control is not there. I was like,
yeah, they broke up, which is, I mean,
she tried to
make sense.
She was like, I'm not like, like you're my girl, but we not there, and I'm not with Kairi Sane. Like it's me, Asuka, by myself today.
Yes. I love me some Asuka. I love that we're not ready for Asuka, and that I'm wondering if Jade's gonna be ready for Asuka because that is bound to be a really good match.
I mean, I will give Jade some kudos.
What? Are we gonna speak a little louder?
No, you're gonna get this. She's gonna get these.
Am I gonna have to turn this up?
She's gonna get small little snaps.
Small snaps? Not the baby voice. Good gracious. So I just want to spend a minute on NXT because there was some good stuff that happened this week. I know there was a lot going on, so it's hard to catch up on all that with all the things. Yes. But there was this awesome Fatal 4-Way Contenders match with Lash Legend, Jordynne Grace, Izzy Dane, and Jada Parker. And Jada looked like a freaking star.
Oh, but I thought the Contender match was supposed to happen at Evolution. No?
Don't ask me. I don't know why they did it this time. I thought it was too, but I don't know why it's these four against each other. I think, remember, there was always these fights. I have no idea because you were right. I think they said that. I don't know.
Ava definitely, her name was Ava, right? They definitely said that whoever out of these tournaments, you guys will end up going into a fatal whatever at Evolution, and then that is the number one contender.
Yes, I remember them saying that, but I think, Jordynne won, so I think it'll be Jordynne versus JC at Evolution.
Really? They're going to give it to Jordynne?
She's the one who won. Jada looked like a freaking star, though. I was like, she was beating everybody.
Okay, whatever.
I don't know. I heard Jordynne was getting called up, so I didn't realize she was still going to hang out in NXT. And Raw has a bit of a vacuum, so they could use some more talent to help fill out that roster, too. So I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. I can't answer that. Anyone out there, you can answer that question for us because I didn't get
she was getting called up too at the same time as Stephanie was.
Same. I also thought that. I guess they didn't. But all I wanted to say about that was Jada looked like a freaking star. So I was like hoping she would win and was a little disappointed.
I mean, I'm disappointed just because I don't get it.
Yeah, I was disappointed. Also, Trick had this match with Brooks that was crazy good.
I saw a glimpse of it, but
it was really good. And I like that Joe Hendry came out eventually, but also that Trick won on his own, and that was an excellent match as well. So just a couple things I wanted to cover from NXT because it wasn't like I spent a lot of time on that this week, but those two were awesome. So, all right, now it's time for the speed round.
All right,
we're gonna cover SmackDown and the PLE this week because there's title matches happening on SmackDown. So confusion. That's the other thing. Night of Champions. Shouldn't it all be a Night of Champions?
And I remember when Night of Champions was that. It was the Night of Champions in championship matches. So I don't know what happened.
I don't know. Again,
championship matches throughout the whole thing. That was the whole reason why it was a Night of Champions. Because it's when all the championships were defended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not this time. Anyway. So let's start with the last woman standing match for the WWE Women's Championship with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. Who you got?
I want to say Naya, but I feel like it's going to be Tiffany.
I don't think it matters who wins. I say that Naomi's coming to cash in.
Okay.
I don't think it matters. So I ain't picking a winner. I'm saying, Naomi, this is your moment, girl.
Okay.
This is your moment. Do not proceed with caution on this one. You might want to just run right down there while they're both knocked out and get that cash in. Done. All right. So WWE Women's US Championship match, Zelina and Julia.
I'm going to say Zelina.
I'm going to say Julia.
Oh, I'm going Queen's girl. Queen's in the house.
Queen's in the house. Julia she is something. Like, I don't even think that most people have seen what she's capable of. And I could see Julia coming right through and taking that title to the next level. And hopefully raising some of the profile of it. Because for some reason, again, it's getting lost with some of these other titles. And then we have WWE Tag Team Championship match with the Street Profits against Wyatt Six.
I'm going to say Street Profits because I feel like someone's going to interfere to make sure they win.
I also am going to say that because the Wyatt Six are scaring the hell out of tag team division. That's the thing we didn't cover because it keeps happening week after week. And they're like, yeah, you go out. The Motor City Machine Guns had a match against them. And it was funny. I mean, everybody's scared of Wyatt Six. And so it's some levity watching the Street Profits be like, yeah, you go ahead, man, you go.
We support you.
You say you could do it. You get your job done. You didn't. So I'm like, okay, well, so, the Wyatt Six are now in the mist. So I'm going to go with Street Profits, but I also think there will be some interference because we all know the tag team division on SmackDown is insane and they like to interfere in each other's matches. And DIY is not going to sit in the back all happy-go-lucky. They're going to be like, no, this is my moment. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see that happening. All right, let's talk Night of Champions because we have quite a few. So we'll start with the thing we didn't even get a chance to talk about, which was Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross and how Sami punched Karrion in the face.
That was a clear pop. You was like,
we didn't talk about that. It was delightful. Only in the sense that finally Karrion Kross is going to be on a PLE. Finally. I'm so excited. And we get to see Scarlett too, even though I know we're in Saudi Arabia, so you're gonna be wearing a one piece.
But it's still one of those when she was like, he's holding his mouth. He's like, yo, I'm just so tired of you talking to shit. Like, I'm just, and he's just holding his mouth. I say, yeah, I know that had to hurt because that was a clear shot. That wasn't.
She told him to stop it.
That wasn't even like his hand in front of him and then punch you. That was a clear, here you go, boom, to the face. And then what Karrion was like, got him. I say, you know what? That is the Puerto Rican in you. I am done. I am over it. I can't
Might be
win.
You can't win. That's cool. That's cool. All right, we have Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. Okay, we got double R's times 2 at a street fight. Which why did this have to happen there?
I don't know.
I felt like that could have happened on Raw. Like I don't get it.
I mean, I'm gonna say Raquel wins because Roxanne is gonna come in and cheat, and then Dominic, if he's clear, he's gonna come in there and somehow keep messing with Rhea. I also just need the Rhea and the Judgment Day saga to be over.
Telenovela, all of
to be over.
To be gone.
Like, there's no need.
Yeah.
Like, what are we really fighting for?
I don't know. I was like, shouldn't Rhea be trying to get a belt of some kind?
Like, what are we fighting for?
I feel like she should be trying to get some kind of championship of some kind because
it sounds like y'all just bored and y'all don't know what else to do.
But I do want to say that Raquel and Rhea had a pretty fun match in NXT on Somebody's Way Out. I think it was Rhea's. So I don't hate that this is happening. I don't know why it has to be on Night of Champions though, because there's not a championship involved. I'll go with Rhea because why not? I'll just go with Rhea because maybe this will be the nail in the coffin. All right, U.S. Championship match: Jacob Fatu versus Solo.
Jacob. And I also feel like it's going to be interference, but then Jimmy is going to come out to his defense.
I also say Jacob wins. All right, and then let's talk undisputed WWE Championship: John Cena versus CM Punk.
John Cena.
Same. I don't think this is not his. He's still going to be the champion.
It's going to be a good match, but it's
He's still going to be the champion. I agree with that. All right, let's talk King of the Ring finals and Queen of the Ring finals. King of the Ring final, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Who you got? Randy?
Only because...
I'm going to say Cody.
Oh, okay, because I was only going to say because... Well, I feel like I was in a toss-up because I get it. They're trying to write a story for Cody to go against John Cena again. But he's not going to win his title back either. I want to say Randy just because I think Randy feels like he has something to prove right now because of all his injuries and him coming back and forth. So I feel like he has something to prove to himself.
Yes. I think it's going to be an amazing match.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. Crazy. But I definitely think it's a Cody moment. It's just his momentum beating Jay. I could just see a Cody moment happening there. And then our Queen of the Rings final with Asuka versus Jade.
Asuka.
I could guess who you got.
I definitely don't have them damn Jade, okay? No. It's not, because you know what ends up happening? Then she's going to go, she don't need a championship. I swear to God. I just don't understand. It's going to be Asuka. I can see Asuka and EO at SummerSlam.
I definitely say it's Jade, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I very firmly believe that Naomi is going to be champion after SmackDown. So the natural progression of the story becomes Jade versus Naomi at maybe Evolution. Because again, we got definitely another PLE with all women coming up. So I could see it being that. So that's my thing. I think we have some contrarian views this time. We didn't agree on everything this time. So we'll see who's right. See who's right. All right, this was fun. Y'all already know it was a late night and we still hung tight with y'all. But this is your moment.
I'm Black and I'm proud.
To subscribe. That's right. But
sorry.
That's true.
I'm sorry.
Again, this is your moment to hit that bell, subscribe to our channel so you're the first to see our content, and follow us on our socials. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads.
That's it.
And X.
Oh, I thought you said Twitter.
And X.
Twitter is X.
I did. I said Twitter. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but if y'all know, then you can also visit us on our website at maineventmamaspodcast.com, which tells you not only all the socials, but it'll also tell you our personal socials and will help you locate any content that may not be on your desired channel, because all the videos and all the content are up on the channel. Or you can check out us on podcasts. And where is that going to be, Tanisha?
Well, of course, on Spotify. You can also see our pretty faces there too. But you can also, if you need to just listen to us strictly, you can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Pocket Podcasts, Amazon Music, Amazon Audible.
Yep.
Yes. And yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't want to listen to us.
Fair. Excited for this Saudi Arabia trip. I hope everybody makes it back, and we'll be back with you guys to download on this PLE. Hopefully Sunday or Monday. You'll get a nice little podcast where we share all our thoughts about everything that could have possibly happened. So we want to say we're not new to this.
We're true to this. And this was Main Event Mamas.
Whoop, whoop.